What does that victory mean? I mean, obviously, it doesn't affect anything in the long term, but in terms of, I suppose, pride and rounding off the season here and everything goes with that, you must be very pleased.
Yeah, I was really pleased because we've had a lot of good support. The fans have been very loyal in what they've done. They've travelled home and away. Unfortunately, last week we didn't perform in a way that befits a club of this stature, and the travelling fans were embarrassed away from home against Man City. But today I thought first half the game wasn't the best, and we gave away another sloppy goal, and the players came back in the second half and really put it in for them, really put it in for the owners on last game. And it's really important for us to finish well here and show the fans that next season we're hoping to redress the situation and make sure that the club is on first of all an even keel, and secondly trying its best to get back to this division.
It was such a positive start to the second half, wasn't it? What did you change at half time?
Nothing really. I mean, there was no screaming and shouting or anything like that. What it was, sometimes the players themselves dig deep, and they realised that we didn't want to go away from here after being relegated with an even worse taste in our mouths. So we didn't want to do that. We wanted to make sure that whatever happened, that the summer's that the people are going to think positive things in the summer for what's going to happen in the future.
Have you got a bit of empathy with John, Chris, and what the week ahead he faces now, fearing what's going to happen next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think all managers, they know what it's like when things don't go well. So John's a good man, and I'm sure that he will get these troops back ready for the battle next week to make sure that Newcastle stay up.
What's the state of play with Rob Green? Unfortunately, didn't get him today.
Yeah, I think Rob's been in fantastic form this season and very brave. He's put his body on the line again, and I think he got kneed or kicked in the head. And nowadays, with the concussion rules, we couldn't take a chance, and it gave our number 2 keeper a chance to show what he's made of, and I thought he pulled off a couple of fine saves today.
Has he had to go to hospital, or is he still there?
He was still downstairs when we came back in, but I'm sure that the medical team will direct him in the right way over the next 48 hours.
2 stitches, I believe.
That goal of Leroy's was a bit special. Has he said anything about it in the changing room?
Well, I think Leroy's got it in his locker, and when you look back at our season, he's been a massive miss for us. Although you don't want to make excuses, but you still also have to look at we came back, we played Southampton. He did quite well when I came into this post. At Sunderland, he was a major part of that win that night, and then he got a bad injury, 3 months or whatever it would be, at 10 weeks. Injured. He's been a massive loss for us, and another player that was a massive loss for us, and you can see how well he did today, was Richard Dunn. Shortly before that, he got a bad knee injury. So we have missed some important characters in our team this season, and Leroy being one of them.
Les Ferdinand said he'd like to ban Twitter for all the players next season. Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm not even on it, so I don't know much about it, and I think it's a great idea because it seems that there's a lot lost in translation in Twitter, and for whatever reason people get on it and share their lives, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not.
Do you think it can have an effect actually coming back into training grounds and going into games?
What's that, Twitter?
What goes on social media, yeah.
I think social media is something of now and the modern era and the future, and I'm sure it would evolve over the next few years, and it's used for all sorts of reasons. So I've really haven't got much of an opinion on it, apart from that most of the youngsters are on it.
What is your own situation at the moment, as far as you know? I mean, are you still absolutely with your feet at the table for next season?
No, not until the contract's signed. You know, it's not till everything's been finalised. You know, I'm in the same scenario as you. I think I've got a good chance of getting the job, but you've been in it a long time, and you know things change. You know, things change, don't they? So what we have to do is hopefully I'll get the job, and hopefully I'll spend the summer planning for next season, because it's going to be a short close season this year because of the Euros. I think the close season is probably 4.5-5 weeks, and to recruit, you know, your playing staff over that time is going to be very intense and very important.
Is the contract actually there to be signed, Chris, or is it still in the post? Or where
I'm looking for that postman every morning.
Okay, thank you guys.